Hey guys, it's Carter. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day today. Now in today's video, we are going to be talking about trading routines. I think it's incredibly important to have and set up a good solid swing trading or day trading or just investing routine that you do every single day, week, or whatever you choose. So for me as a swing trader, I really focus on Sundays as my day to kind of focus on plays and use, pre-market after hours to scan for plays, set alerts, and just be prepared. I also think it's incredibly important to understand the market conditions we're in right now. So we're going to cover that today too as well. So make sure you guys like, follow, and if you want to learn more about trading, check out our school because you guys can get 50% off by using code FALL. It's a fall day, fall sale. So check it out, code FALL, 50% off. And let's dive into this here. So, like I said, it's incredibly important to understand the market, really. So, let's kind of show you guys here the approach that I have right now. So, just by looking at like the general S&P 500, I want to put on SPY, SPY. This is an ETF that tracks the S&P. And you guys can see that we saw this huge dip down in sell-off, right? This sell-off was 2.7%, one of the largest sell-offs we've seen in, honestly, a couple of months now, probably around 6-7 months. And, so we're seeing the market that was once at highs sell off like crazy. So for me, I love looking at this and going, okay, historically, right, anytime the market sells off, this represents good opportunity to pick up some shares. So for SPY, SPY, I'm definitely going to be looking at this. I think that this carries a lot of potential. You guys can see buying during dips historically is a great opportunity to invest. And I think looking back, whether it's in a couple of months or a year, we're going to be wishing we would have bought more at these current prices. Investing into the S&P 500 is like investing pretty much into the U.S. economy. And I think that's a pretty good thing here. Now, if we go ahead and we look and we try to scroll down and let's kind of see what we got, because it's important to look at news articles, and you guys can see some analysts think that the S&P could be in a little internet bubble. I do think we could possibly have an AI bubble. But more importantly, let's continue to go through this. So we all know there's conflict overseas, all that stuff, and the trade with China could be coming to a pause. That's why we got that dip down. It's a little uncertainty with that. So, I think it's important to understand that and use this sell-off to our advantage. So, with that being said, let's look at some stocks here with some opportunity. I really like Home Depot, ticker symbol HD. As we zoom out, you guys can see here a couple of things. One is the upward trend, right? You guys can see the stock pretty much went from 270 all the way up to over 440, selling off down to pretty realistic level here. We do have a nice little trend line in this direction here, so we could get a move going in that upward direction. RSI super undervalued right now, trading for an 18, which is super low, right? The last time I was trading for an 18, let's go ahead and look and see if we can find a time, was pretty much back in here where we saw immediate buying pressure. Also, let's go ahead and look at that 1 hour chart so you guys can see the trend there. So it's important to draw out breakouts here so you guys can see the breakout. So we'll throw an alert around there. So that's an alert around 380-ish. All right, the next one here is AVGO. Now, this is another one that got some pretty good sell-off. I always think it's important, during these times where we get that huge dip down, to look at a little more blue chip stocks. In my opinion, I think that they're a little more stable during those times, and you can really take advantage of the sell-off, because sometimes what we'll see is huge sell-off in small cap stocks or even penny stocks, and if you hop in on those, it could take a lot longer to recover and there could be a lot more volatility. So, I think it's important to understand that. So, AVGO sold off down to that 50-day EMA line, which had recent tendencies of support. RSI is at a 40, going to some lower time frames here. Let's go to that 4-hourly. You guys can see the trend. Let's see what we got. So, pretty heavy support here on that 4-hour, or pretty much that 200-day 4-hour. 200-day EMA line on the 4-hour chart. You guys can see it hit it several times, hit it in here. So we could see a move going from pretty much 227 to, the 327 to 350. Then next one here, we got MTG, downward trend, good sell off here. I always like sell off. I know I'm weird. We'll throw an alert above this for there, and then going to that daily, you guys can see, good trend going up, good sell off. Now we're just holding it. We got Rocket Mortgage. This one here is hitting that 200-day EMA line. We already got, let's make sure we got an alert set on this one. Pretty undervalued spot. We're going to throw an alert at the 90-day EMA line there. We got SPY, which we already covered. Look at that steep sell-off. I think we could pick up some good shares. And then, pretty much tomorrow here. We got FTI here. Good play on that downward trend. Looking at this here, you guys can see the good upward trend, sold off down. Right now, it's around that 90-day moving average line. Could see a nice pickup. We got LYV here. Good sell-off here again, waiting for the breakout. We got Visa, which I like. We've day traded Visa last week, so this could be a good opportunity to possibly day trade it in the upcoming days here. Let's look at this, see what we got. So just really not much here. One thing I want to do is just throw an alert kind of like this around, so it bounces up around here. We'll throw the alert there. We got United Airlines right in that trend line. Could pick up some good shares on that. And then last stock here on play is just Costco, using that sell-off to our advantage here. And so honestly, that's the approach for the week. And I think it's important to do that every single Sunday or even sometimes every day so you can be as prepared as you possibly can, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Smash that like button, subscribe. And if you want to learn more, check out our school, and the broker I'm using is Moomoo, and I'll put a link to all of that down below for you guys. So like, follow, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.